Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're here to check in for the second week of July, and I talked about this in my last video, but I'm going to try to start popping in before we get into the check-in just to talk about some of the things that we were able to accomplish, some of the things that we're struggling with, and I hope that you guys share whatever you guys are going through down below. I want this to be like a fun check-in spot where we can all encourage each other and talk about the things that we're working on. And so if you are working on a goal, if you're struggling with something this week, let me know down below, and I'm sure it'll help somebody out there. So anyway, this week has been pretty uneventful. We went grocery shopping on Sunday, which is something that we have been striving for since we had Mila. So I feel super encouraged that we finally were able to do that, and I'm hoping going forward we can continue to do that. When we do that, it seems like we spend less money because we're taking less trips to the grocery store. We're not just picking up like random things that we don't need. We're being very intentional with the money. So you guys will not see another grocery trip for us, hopefully, until next Sunday, which is what we strive for. Since the last time I checked in, we have spent money on eating out, but we've been very intentional with it. Me and Jason went on a date night one night, which was really fun. That's when we talked about paying off the car. If you haven't seen my updated financial goals, definitely check that out. But now our new goal is to start paying off Jason's car. We're hoping to do that in the next couple of months, so hopefully that is something that we can accomplish very soon. But we did go on a date night. We did, as a family, walk up to Starbucks. We have a Starbucks and a Dunkin' Donuts very close to us, and on Saturdays we like to do like a family walk up to one of those places. Jason and I will get like a tea or a coffee, and then Macy will get like a breakfast sandwich or whatever, and it's just a fun little thing that we can look forward to on Saturdays. So we have spent a little bit of money. We've obviously cut back a lot when it comes to eating out, because before, I feel like we're being better about it now that we're using our card rather than having cash, because now I'm having to document it, and it's really like making me aware, like, okay, we were eating out a lot and we were doing all these little trips here and there and not being intentional at all with the money. Because with cash, it's like, oh here, oh crap, it's gone. Whereas now it's like, okay, in my budget planner, it says exactly where we went. I see exactly how much we spent. And so I feel like I'm trying to be more intentional with that money. The other major thing that happened this week is I actually talked to Jason's mom about the cell phone. I have been talking about the cell phone sinking fund forever. And I guess she came to the conclusion that now that we're going to be going to Colorado for Jason's younger brother's wedding, that she was going to forgive all of the kids' cell phone bills, because none of us kids have paid in I think like 2 years. And so she's like, you know what? Use that money that you've been setting aside for the travel expenses, because she knows, like, with a family of 4, there's lots of travel expenses when it comes to going so far away, and there's kind of an added thing to this. So we're using the Colorado trip for like a dual purpose. We're obviously going for the wedding because we have to go to his brother's wedding. It's gonna be a very small wedding. Obviously we will be taking every precaution necessary, but it will be a very small wedding. And we're also going to be using this trip as a time to scope out locations. So we have 2 towns in mind that we're thinking about checking out, and so while we're there, we're going to be staying partly in one location for the wedding, and then we're going to be staying in 2 different towns to really like get a feel for the area, because this trip is probably going to be the only trip that we take before we actually move. So we'll be staying a few days in the town that we're really thinking is going to be the town for us, and then one in another town that we just want to check out. It's honestly, it's more of like, okay, our backup just in case we don't like the first town. So she pretty much gave us that extra, I think it's $1,100, which makes a huge difference, because with traveling and with staying for over a week somewhere, we had a lot of expenses. So after she told me that she was going to give us that money back so that we can travel, I booked all of our travel stuff, and we are all set to go now. But without that money, we would have had to use some of our savings or some of our money that we had set aside to go towards the car. So I'm super grateful for that. It makes a huge difference for us, and it really helps us stay in line when it comes to our goals. going forward, next week I do have a wedding. My best friend since middle school is getting married. So me and Macy are actually going to go to that wedding because it's in Michigan. We could not find a house to rent at all. And so we just figured with Mila going to bed at like 6:30 every night, it doesn't make a ton of sense to bring her and have Jason just sit in like a hotel room or whatever else. So it'll just be me and Macy. We're gonna use this as like a mommy-daughter date type of thing. I'm super excited about it. So we're gonna have expenses for that because I am in the wedding, so I'm gonna have to get my nails done, my hair done, makeup done, all of that fun stuff. Macy is also going to be, she's not in the wedding, but she's gonna get her hair done and stuff like that. So that is money that will be coming out of our vacation fund as well. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the numbers, see how we're doing. And again, please feel free to leave how you guys are doing. I love hearing when you guys have paid something off or when you're working towards something. It really helps encourage me to keep going. I've talked about this a lot, but that is the whole reason why I love listening to Dave's podcast, Dave Ramsey, because I feel like every time I hear someone who accomplished something, it just, you know, revs me up even more to accomplish our goal. So again, leave your goals, your struggles, whatever it may be, down below, and let's go ahead and get into the numbers. Okay guys, so today we're gonna track groceries, eating out, gas for our cars, household, and then anything that may be unbudgeted. These are things that I typically track because they tend to be areas where we may overspend or just need to keep a close eye on so we can adjust our spending. So let's start with groceries. So the last time that we checked in looks like it was around the 7th. So since then we've had some other things kind of go on. So at Target, I mentioned last week that I was going to pick up some of my matcha tea. I will do a updated day in the life pretty soon and I'll share how I make that. But that was $21.38. I picked up 2 packs of that. And then we also have Aldi for $63.07 and Jewel, that was $34.34. So that brings us to a total of $118.79. And last time we spoke, we had $316.83. Oops, 83, which means that we currently have $198.04. Okay, so if you take a look at our situation here, that means that we currently have 2 more weeks left, which brings us to roughly $99.02 per week. So definitely something that's doable. I know that we have a lot of chicken downstairs that's frozen that we picked up when this whole virus thing happened. So we could definitely use a lot of that. But $99, that's a little bit more tight than we're used to. So it's just something that we want to keep in mind. We are definitely eating at home way more than we are eating out. So I think that might kind of, you know, sway it a little bit. I think our eating out may be a little bit less and our groceries may be a little bit more. We'll kind of see how that goes. In terms of eating out, we've had a few things happen. So we went out to dinner, Jason and I, for a date night. So that was $52.97. And then we stopped at Oberweis for a milkshake because honestly, that's probably like my favorite dessert ever. So those two together were $59.72. We also went to Starbucks as a family. That's something that we like to do on Sundays, or sorry, Saturdays. So that was $15 for, like I refilled my app. So that was $15. And then Jason and I went on a little date with Mila. That was $22.32. We went on like a Taco Tuesday thing. So that total is $97.04. $97.04. I budgeted $200, which means that we have $102.96. I believe for lunch today we may go all out, or just I might go and pick something up for all of us. So we may have a little bit more on Thursday. But besides that, like, we've been really good about eating at home, so I don't really see a ton of other expenses coming in unless we do like another date night, which we may do another date night on Saturday. Jason's mom did volunteer to watch the girls, so we may do something there, but we're on track. If we, you know, we have like 2 more weekends to go, so as long as we don't go on any crazy date nights, I think we'll be good. Definitely a lot more than what I was hoping to spend. I was really hoping to like be significantly under 200, but it seems like 200 is probably a decent amount if we're gonna go on more fancy types of date nights. Okay, in terms of household, I think that's what's next, or gas. Gas is next. So I recorded that. We also had $18.46 for my car, $18.46, which means that if you take that $70.79 minus the $18.46, we have $52.33 remaining. So definitely plenty. That's enough for like a fill for Jason's car and for my car, which is, I honestly don't think that we'll need, but definitely nice to know that we have plenty there. If it continues to go this way, I may decrease our gas for our cars because now I will for sure not be driving for work. So I don't know if we're gonna need $100 per month. In terms of household items, we've bought a few things. So $24.76 here. And then Jason also picked some stuff up from Menards for $19.78. So that brings us to $44.54. Last time we spoke, we had $107.71, which means that we have $63.17. I don't anticipate needing that much money. I think we're good on laundry soap. I think we have like toilet paper. I think we're good on shampoo. So I don't really think we're gonna need a ton of this. If anything, it's gonna be like random little things that Jason picks up at like Menards or something like that. Unbudgeted, we have nothing. Everything else is accounted for there. So that's always kind of good to have a zero there. Okay, so in terms of sinking funds, let's see what we have going on here. So I don't remember the last time we spoke, but I think it was right around, let's see. I last checked in on the 7th. So, okay, so we've spent a lot of money on our vacation fund. And I talked about this before, but Jason's mom did gift us the $1,100 that was for cell phone. So you can see I took that $1,100 out here and I added that to our vacation fund. I did have to pay for a hotel for my friend's wedding. I will be there Friday and Saturday night. Me and Macy will. So we'll have to be there for the rehearsal dinner and then obviously for the wedding, and we're just gonna stay overnight. I think it's like 2 hours away from us. So anyway, we got a hotel there. And then all of these transactions here are for Airbnbs. We will be staying this $997, that will be closer to the wedding. This is for the one that's closer to the like actual town that we want to live in, and then this is for the other one. So because we have our family of 4, we obviously need to make sure that we all have a room. Mila specifically needs her own room because we've kind of like sleep trained her to make sure that she like sleeps, and if she cries, she like cries herself to sleep. I know that sounds really harsh, but we try not to interrupt her when she's sleeping. So if she wakes up, if she kind of fusses a little bit, she knows that she just falls back asleep. Like that's kind of her routine. So us being in the same room with her would mess that up. So Macy can sleep in the same room as us. There's lots of beds and bunk beds and stuff like that in a lot of these locations, but Mila very specifically needed her own. So anyway, we had to get a house in some of these situations. We had to get like condos in some of these situations. But regardless, if you add all of those up, $214.98, $997.72, $534.79, and $190.57. That is almost $2,000 right there. Like that is a lot of money, but that's kind of what happens when you have weddings. Unfortunately, like they're just super expensive. And again, we don't plan to go and visit Colorado again before we move. So we're using this as a dual trip and we feel like it's worth it. It's worth knowing that you want to for sure move somewhere. We've obviously visited Colorado many times. Jason pretty much grew up there on family vacations. I've been there with family vacations with them before. So we know that it's a good location. We just want to make sure we know the town. So those are pretty much all of the expenses So anyway, those were all of the expenses that we've had when it comes to our sinking funds. Again, without that vacation amount, without that like forgiveness of the cell phone bill, we would have definitely had to put more money towards vacation this month because it's expensive. It's super expensive to have like larger rentals when it comes to vacations. So I don't think that we'll be going on any other vacations, especially with like kind of the state of what's going on right now. We don't want to travel if we don't have to. But that is pretty much it in terms of our sinking fund expenses. Again, I feel like we're doing pretty well. Definitely just have to keep an eye on groceries. We're gonna have to make sure that we, you know, are really careful about not overspending and not buying stuff that we don't need. I also really want to come under on groceries and eating out, so we just need to be careful about what we're spending and what we're doing with our money in terms of all of that. But that is pretty much it for this check-in. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing a little update on our finances. I'm really hoping that this month we can throw a lot of money towards Jason's car and get a good start on paying that off. But again, let me know how you guys are doing down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.